as well.
Two teams stepping out onto the pitch, knowing full well that victory for one of the teams tonight really would just about guarantee their place in the quarterfinals. Remember, we're only halfway through the second phase action, but 8 places up for grabs. And by the end of tomorrow night's action, we could well see 4 teams. Victories for Barcelona, Porto, Fiorentina, and maybe Bayern Munich would see them go through to the quarterfinals, despite the fact that there are still matches to play in this second phase competition. A big crowd in, and they expect a lot of their team. They fancy their chances, Porto, against Barcelona in this one, and I think they've got grounds to do so, Jamie.
Absolutely. The key players, of course, are Drulovic and Jardel. We've mentioned Jardel already. Drulovic provides the ammunition, and also keep an eye out for Escudinha providing the crosses, because Jardel, terrific in the air.
Quality of crosses made the difference, and Jardel thrives on that. Not your typical Brazilian player. A very, very powerful customer, good in the air, and he could well come into play. He was a handful for the Barcelona defence last time out. But Barcelona in great form, scored a 4-0 victory over Numancia in La Liga at the weekend, and really were travelling well. Well, we just listened to the anthems. There is Louis van Gaal, the coach about whom we heard just before the break. A very strong-minded individual, had his run-in with Rivaldo, who has, we have to stress, recovered from his ankle problem and will indeed now be playing in this match. First of 2 matches coming along on ESPN this evening. Let's now cross to our match commentator at the Estadio dos Santos, Martin Tyler.
Well, welcome to the Antas Stadium. Straight away, let's give you the Porto team news. 3 changes from the side that played Barcelona so well but lost last week. George Costa suspended, Rui Barros and Chainho dropped. In come Rubens Jr., who's fit again, Paulinho Santos after suspension, and Ricardo Silva. For Barcelona, out tonight, Zenden, he's got a hamstring strain, and Luis Enrique. In comes Winston Bojada, who'll play on the left side of the defence, and Ronald de Boer to join his twin brother Frank in this very much Dutch-orientated Barcelona lineup. Automatic qualification for the quarterfinals for Barcelona, should they win tonight. If Porto get the points in this section, well, that gives them a great chance and would put them top of Group A with 2 to play. Drulovic, the Yugoslav, they've had 6 days to wonder quite how they didn't get something from the match with Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Jardel scored twice there, and at 3-2 Barcelona were rocking, but Rivaldo put on one of his better showings of the season to satisfy that hard taskmaster, the Barcelona coach Louis van Gaal, and he wrapped up a 4-2 win. These are the 2 form teams in this section, along with Hertha Berlin and Sparta from Prague, and the chances are that both Porto and Barcelona will make it to the quarterfinals. Rivaldo was left out of Barcelona's league game at the weekend as a precaution. He's had some ankle trouble. Both these clubs posted domestic victories on Saturday. And Barcelona kick off. The stadium virtually full, the capacity just short of 50,000. And if the game last week is anything to go by, we should be in for a real treat here in Portugal tonight. Abelardo. Here's Frank de Boer being allowed to advance. And the goalkeeper, Hilario, starting to come. The former Barcelona defender, Aloisio, who's captaining Porto tonight in the absence of George Costa, in the end, took the decisive action. Hit long by Ricardo Silva. Barcelona, such a potent attacking team in all competitions this season. They've already mustered 94 goals. But Porto feel that they showed last week they can really get at them. Jardel is a handful for any defence. And he lays the ball back here to Paulinho Santos. Capuccio trying to get round the outside. The officials tonight all from Italy, headed by the referee Stefano Braschi. Aloisio, who won a European medal in the Cup Winners' Cup as a Barcelona player 11 years ago now. But they haven't got their goalkeeper on loan from Barcelona, Porto. Vitor Bahia, much to his own personal disappointment, not fit, so Hilario continues in goal. Puyol continues at right back for Barcelona, the young man making tracks to support Ronald de Boer here. Rivaldo's cross blocked. Nice build-up though from Barcelona. Very good conditions pitch-wise. Frank de Boer. Nicely swept wide by Barcelona here, with Cocu supporting Rivaldo on the outside. Here's Teixeira. Fernando Santos, in his second season as the Porto coach, pitting his wits for the second time inside a week. And the mighty Louis van Gaal. Capuccio. Now Peixe. Top of the Portuguese league. Again, Porto. They managed to win away at União Leira on Saturday without Jardel, who's missed the last two domestic games here through suspension. I'm sure Louis van Gaal would be wishing he was missing tonight. Bojada. Up in the presidential box there. I'm sure those who head these two famous clubs anxious about success here. It'll be a terrific game to win. Just feel that there's enough maybe for both sides in the remaining two games in this second phase for a loser today to still be able to withstand that blow. This is Guardiola. Figo, Portuguese of course. Many years with Sporting Lisbon. There's a strong Dutch presence, of course, with Barcelona. Brazilians in both camps. It's a typical cosmopolitan cast. In the UEFA Champions League, the shot by Cocu. The Dutchman who had such a good World Cup for Holland back in '98. In a variety of positions, that's what makes him so attractive to top-class coaches, whether it be a club or a national team manager. Good leap by Frank de Boer, one of the Barcelona scorers against Porto last week. It was a high challenge, seen as a dangerous one by Stefano Braschi. Keep an eye on Rivaldo and this slightly damaged ankle, damaged it even before that, threat to it by Peixe. A challenge by Rubens Junior. Ruud Hesp has kept his place in Barcelona's goal tonight. Peixe. He and Figo know each other well from Portuguese international duty. starting with those successful youth teams. They're so good in this country at producing young players. Don't always go on to maximise that potential at senior level. Frank de Boer. It's a bit lax by Barcelona, and they're going to pay a price for it here. First real thrust from Porto, from Drulovic. Barcelona giving away possession in their own half. It ran on to Drulovic from Capucho, who was miscontrolling it in truth. But the Yugoslav shot across the face of the goal. Barcelona had a... Sorry, he didn't like that attempted ball forward, did he, Louis van Gaal? From Frank de Boer, went straight out of play. Barcelona scored 4 goals again in a Spanish league game against Numancia at the weekend, with several of tonight's team missing. I mentioned Rivaldo, Kluivert and Abelardo were both suspended from that. Bojara came back into the team and made a point with a good performance. He'd been sent off against Numancia earlier in the season. This time he was cheered off after his contribution to that win. A little bit of early sparring here. I think it's probably fair to say that a draw wouldn't be the worst result for the two sides. It's not in Barcelona's nature particularly to play for a draw in Porto, if you believe all the pre-match publicity, and there's no reason really to doubt it. They were very disappointed that they didn't get the better of Barcelona, or at least get something, as I say, from that game last Wednesday, when they scored first, then were 3-1 down at half-time. Many of you might have seen it with us. And then they got it back to 3-2, only for Rivaldo to stride through to make it 4-2 in the closing minutes. Frank de Boer. Here is Rivaldo. Has to go back. Champions League football for you on ESPN. I hope all over Asia you're enjoying, settling down to enjoy the fascination this match will undoubtedly bring. And really some frustration we've seen from both coaches. Touch from Rivaldo. Cocu, haven't seen anything of Kluivert as yet. Two centre-backs, Aloisio and much younger Ricardo Silva. Free kick has gone against Capucho. He wasn't too pleased with it. Here's Figo. So coming up to the 10-minute mark, Group A of Phase 2 of the UEFA Champions League. Top 2 teams in the group, Barcelona with 7 points, Porto with 6. Well, Figo's been singled out in terms of press coverage in the build-up to this game, and I'm sure Porto will try and stop him whichever way they can on the pitch. But at the moment, Luis Figo in need of some attention, and that will have to take place off the pitch, courtesy of the stretcher. It was Escudinha who couldn't stop the cross, but he, if not stopping Figo, might well have slowed him down a bit. Figo got the ball, Escudinha got the man. Escudinha here. Valdo is trying to take an extra touch in there. Porto pressing forward well as a group. Oh, and bit of a stumble there by Rubens Jr. The shot by Escudinha. A much-travelled Brazilian. Porto, his 10th club. Well, neither side is yet of gained the upper hand, but with the backing of this big crowd, Porto beginning to probe. Capuccio. Secretario looking to put in a cross where there were three waiting in the penalty area. That'll be the corner. Paulinho Santos back from suspension that kept him out in Barcelona. Prefers to hit them with his left foot, but that right footer has gone behind via a deflection, and Barcelona have a corner to defend. And Bojada, I think, put up the barricades with his chest by the near post there. By weight of numbers, the Spanish club deal with it. That was the shot that took a touch. The referee saw it. And the corner, well, offered some encouragement for Porto. It's clearly not a no-smoking zone on the Porto bench. Guardiola been saying in Barcelona recently that they're a much better team when Guardiola is in the starting lineup. Figo is back on, and Rivaldo goes down with no great appeals from him or from his teammates about anything illegal in the challenge. Frank de Boer. Cocu. Gets it back from Kluivert. Guardiola. And still Guardiola, as if he's magnetised. A bit more possession for Barcelona. No foul on Kluivert, and Porto trying to break out through the passing ability of Peixe. Now Capuccio. Bojada is the defender. Porto prepared to trade space in midfield and just back off and let Guardiola come forward, but he's angled the pass through for Figo. Escudinha can't get across to prevent the corner. A little bit of a response, you feel, for a man coming back to his home country and wanting to impress. That was the earlier incident that Kluivert wasn't happy about. But just now, Figo, with one or two other options that he might have taken, trying for the shot, trying to make an early impact here. In a country where they are only too pleased to cheer him when he plays for Portugal. But he's very much regarded as a villain tonight, playing against Porto. Just over 15 minutes gone. Figo takes the corner. Oh, and that's gone looping away by Peixe for a corner on the far side. Cocu trying to get free. Poor corner. Puyol. And here comes Rivaldo. Kluivert going to the near post. And Rivaldo couldn't pick him out with a cross. Frank de Boer. Abelardo happy to play it short, no challenge on Guardiola. On Kluivert. Back for Rivaldo. Tejada pushing forward down that far touchline, but Barcelona not happy to roll the ball around, and Porto quite happy to let them. But they should be making challenges in this sort of part of the pitch now. Wasn't much of a challenge, it was enough to make the point, really. You back off Barcelona at your peril. Figo and company have moved up to third in the Spanish Primera Liga. Above the great rivals Real Madrid in goal difference. But they're still 5 points behind the rather surprising league leaders, Deportivo La Coruña, who lost at the weekend away to Malaga. So still a possibility that Barcelona might emerge with a late run to take the title in Spain. Real Madrid will be thinking the same. Kluivert. Teixeira getting a foot in. Abelardo. Here's Figo. And away from Escudinha. Back to him from Patrick Kluivert. Rivaldo. Paulinho Santos keeping a careful eye on Ronald de Boer, who played well in the league game for Barcelona at the weekend, but on the left-hand side then against Numancia, and he had a part in 3 of the 4 goals. Jardel. Secretario, Peixe. Now Escudinha. Here's Rubens Jr. Well, Jardel not just scored 2 goals against Barcelona, he headed 2 goals against Barcelona last week. Kluivert. Played wide by Guardiola. And Guardiola's shot ricochets away to Rivaldo. Oh, Kluivert, he's missed it! Well, Patrick Kluivert pulling away, Ronald de Boer coming in, could have shouted him out of the way and he'd have had a better angle on it. Here's Jardel. Peixe, I gather you're having some problems with our sound effects from Porto. Our apologies for that. We'll be doing everything to sort them out as soon as possible. And here's Rubens Jr. Well, with just over 20 minutes gone, and the game really showing signs of opening up into the type of contest that we hope for tonight. Here's Rubens Jr. Now Ronald de Boer. Guardiola. Guardiola, Kluivert. Bogata unable to keep the ball in on the far side. We're halfway through the first half here in Porto, and it's Porto 0, Barcelona 0. And it's brought away by Capuscio here. Jardel. And the back pass by Guardiola. Figo. Well, Puyol still being picked in this Barcelona team, the young right-sided player ahead of the likes of Reisiger. He's amongst the substitutes tonight. Abelardo. Kluivert. Abelardo. Figo's lost out for his own miscontrol, really. Jardel. Ronald de Boer. Rivaldo. Good pressure in midfield by Porto. And Secretario trying to steer it down that right-hand side for the home team towards Capuscio. That's been the feature of the game so far, that Porto do back off to this sort of point, and then they've been getting players in around the man on possession, although not so well on this occasion. Kluivert. Rivaldo. Problem to defend against so many individual talents as well against a good team play. Can be such a marvellous inspiration from the men in the Barcelona ranks. Figo certainly comes into that category. But Porto have got a free kick against Figo. A little bit of a fall there by Rubens Jr. And now Jardel, this extraordinary, prolific Brazilian striker. 27 league goals for Porto in the Portuguese First Division already this season. Not much better than one a game. And he's the top scorer in the Champions League with 8. With Rivaldo one behind him on 7. Puyol. Figo. Kluivert. Back for Figo! Well, that was build-up play of a very high calibre. And the shot wasn't bad either, was it? Just a give and go. If the movement's right and the return pass is right, very hard for defenders to deal with it. But Figo taking the shot on the volley, it would have had to be truly exceptional to keep the effort under control and beat the goalkeeper, but he wasn't far away. Drulovic. Just floating around off Jardel, the player who was a member of Yugoslavia's '98 World Cup final squad. Abelardo. Wasn't a happy tournament for Spain, you might recall. Ojeda wasn't happy for him either, because he broke an ankle in a training accident with the Dutch World Cup squad. Frank de Boer. On the same wavelength as twin brother Ronald. Guardiola, oh, that's brilliant footwork from him. Puyol. Figo. Kluivert drifting to the left-hand side for Barcelona. Harder trying to give him an angle. Guardiola does. Porto will be quite happy with this. It's possession, but the problem for the home side is if there's some penetration at the end of it. Porto came through Group E of Phase 1. They finished second in that section to Real Madrid, but ahead of Olympiacos from Greece and Molde from Norway. Puyol. Figo. Frank de Boer. Kluivert to Rivaldo coming inside, trying to find a route through the centre. That's shut off. Rubens Jr. Carlinhos Santos. And the all-stager Aloisio. Tapuscio. Good play by Puyol defensively. Barcelona won their Phase 1, Group B that was, on top of Fiorentina, Arsenal and AIK from Sweden. It's good work under pressure by Rubens Jr. Jardel. Peixe. It's Barcelona's turn to retreat. Escudinha. This time Jardel not able to make anything from the cross. Drulovic. Secretario. 15 minutes to go to half-time. Peixe. It was a difficult ball to take, and Puyol was beavering away at Jardel. Escudinha with the fancy footwork. And Puyol was blocking off Escudinha's attempt to get the return. Don't know quite how much the referee saw of that. He was turning round, following first of all the path of the ball. He's done well to work the position. It was Figo, in fact, who was the culprit, and he's got the yellow card. Well, this could be a promising position for Porto. They've been working on ways to try and get Jardel just away from a marker to use that tremendous power that he's got in the air. The power that got the better of Barcelona on 2 occasions less than a week ago. No wonder the camera keeps focusing on him. Not quite. Peixe. Paulinho Santos. And Rubens Jr. just turned away from Puyol. He's very close to getting in behind. Tidy little spell from the home side. But not a good corner from Drulovic. Escadinha. He had to pull out of that one, otherwise he could have found himself off. Peixe, nowhere near. Peixe was one of the real stars of junior football in Portugal. He was actually voted the best player in a World Youth Tournament, which is a tremendous compliment. That's puts him in the same sort of company as Maradona. Different type of player, and he's been certainly a successful performer in senior football, primarily here in Porto. Ronald de Boer. Now Abelardo. Member of that Spanish Olympic squad that got gold medal in Barcelona in the Olympics of '92. Figo. And just wonder if Cocu had kept on running then. That's obviously what Figo expected him to do. Problem for Porto, they want to attack, home fans want them to be on the front foot, but they know that if they overcommit, Barcelona will just shred them. Figo having to do a bit more defending now, and he'd like to be playing in the other half of the pitch. It's all a matter of when and how often for the home team. Figo, past Peixe, and here's Kluivert. Rivaldo coming in from the left. Figo's there. The player from Portugal ends up having to dive to try and con a penalty out of the referee. He's not going to get that. He had the real chance. And Hilario kept it out. Look, they were through here in numbers, 3 against 1. So Kluivert did his bit, but so did Hilario, and there was a rather sad fall by Figo. More out of frustration that he failed to take that chance. It's a very good save. Well, I think it's a bit more insult than injury, although Peixe did catch him with a trailing arm, but I don't think there was too much of intent there. And I wonder whether it crossed the referee's mind to think of that as unsporting behaviour as Figo went down, and of course, having had 1 yellow card tonight, he would have been off, but he's still there. Rivaldo. Ronald de Boer. Back to Puyol. Figo had a bit of fortune then. He's not the most popular person with the Porto fans. That was probably the case when he arrived at the ground, but a booking. A dramatic fall, having failed to take a very good opportunity to open the scoring here for Barcelona. And all fueled the antipathy. But it is Figo who takes the corner. And this time they have scored. And Louis van Gaal celebrates Abelardo. Well, it was Figo's corner. And Porto, who conceded from a right-wing corner in Barcelona 6 nights ago, have let in here a pretty soft goal by this standard of the game. Goalkeeper blocked off a little cleverly, I have to say that, but no one picking up Abelardo. You could see Ronald de Boer standing in the path of Hilario, saying, "You've got to get past me, I'm holding my ground." And Abelardo really just had to make sure he hit the target. He did. And it's Porto 0, Barcelona 1. It would have been a surprise between these two teams if we got to half-time without a goal. Remember, because of the combination of games to come, a win for Barcelona tonight and they qualify. Oh, but that lead nearly didn't last very long. Rubens Jr. denied by Ruud Hesp. Within a minute of Barcelona taking the lead. Peixe. Oh, and that's hit the bar, with Jardel distracting Hesp. Escudinha. Really eventful spell here. Ronald de Boer. And Guardiola back with de Boer. It's over Puyol. Paulinho Santos in there. And Escudinha. Kluivert. So 5 minutes to go to half-time, the breakthrough for Barcelona. Oh, and a tackle from the back. That's now the sort of challenge that really this get tough policy from FIFA and UEFA is designed to try and stamp out. Just can't get the ball there, and it's so risky for joints of the player who's fouled, ankle and knees. Aloisio, of course, been around a long time, and when he began, he could do that and get away with it. He's got away with it tonight. Now, Rivaldo, talk about what happened last week in the Nou Camp, and a goal from a corner. We've seen a similarity to that, and of course Rivaldo scored with a free kick from a similar position, but he doesn't get anywhere near repeating his party piece. Whether it's in his mind to change direction. Hilario was beaten to the goalkeeper's left last week. And he wasn't going to the left, so if it was a game of bluff or double bluff, the goalkeeper this time came out on top. Rivaldo. Abelardo, the goal scorer. Rivaldo, they've given him space here. Kluivert trying to run off the shoulder of the last defender. Three minutes plus stoppage time to go to half-time. Porto 0, Barcelona 1. Kick by Hilario. And Alvarado's main job tonight is trying to curb Jardel. Rubens Jr. Puyol aware, there is. He's just come back from injury, this young left-sided player, and that's, I'm afraid, from Porto's point of view, just reactivated the problem. He knows he can't go on. Put everything into the stretch to try and beat Puyol here and to beat Puyol to the ball and get a cross in. Rivaldo. And needed Hilario to come then, because Ronald de Boer was looking to ghost in behind Aloisio. Capuscio. Peixe. On from Aloisio to Escudinha. Ricardo Silva. Well, the substitute is Domingos. He came on in the first half of the first game as well. Rui Barros was struggling to get into that game, but he now replaces the definitely injured Rubens Jr. He was so pleased to get himself fit to have the chance to play against Barcelona, but his game didn't last until half-time. Unlucky. Sympathetic applause for Rubens Jr. It's a Cocu. Rivaldo and Kluivert arriving in the centre. Ronald de Boer. Domingos quickly getting into action to brush one or two of his own teammates aside. And that's given away by Jardel. He tried a cute layoff and it didn't come off. Domingos, as part of Portugal's squad in Euro 96, in fact scored half a dozen goals in the qualifiers to get them to those European finals, and scored in the finals in the game against Croatia. They've got to find a goal from somewhere here, Porto, as we reach the break. The goal down, the team coached by Fernando Santos. And that goal came late in the half, and a poorly defended corner taken by Figo and knocked in by Abelardo. The injury to Rubens Jr. after that not going well for Porto. Porto 0, Barcelona 1 at half-time.